Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Good day. Welcome to Fusion Mobile e-learning class. My name is Fayami Kende and I'll be taking you in English language. Today we are going to be discussing adverbs. What is an adverb? An adverb is a word which adds meaning to verbs. It also adds meaning to adjectives and other adverbs in a sentence. That is to say, adverbs modify verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs, and even prepositional phrases. Again, adverbs may also be defined as words that supply the answer to the questions when, how, why, where, to what degree, or how often. These adverbs are called adjuncts. Let us now see how adverbs modify verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs. Adverbs modifying verbs. Examples: he talks carelessly. She sings melodiously. They are beaten mercilessly. We arrived late. The work was done beautifully. In the following examples, the words that are adverbs are carelessly, melodiously, mercilessly, lately, and beautifully. Adverbs, or the adverbs in the following sentences, provide more information to the following. That is, it modifies them. In the sentence 1, where we have he talks carelessly, carelessly modifies the verb talks. Melodiously modifies sing, where we have she sings melodiously, and where we have they were beaten mercilessly. Mercilessly modifies beaten, and so on and so forth. Adverbs modify adjectives. Examples of adverbs that modify adjectives are: his writing is very tidy. Another example is: his children are too proud. The child was terribly ruthless. Ume is always dirty, and the river never dry. The river is never dry. In the above examples, tidy, proud, ruthless, and dirty, and also dry are modifying adjectives. They are adverbs that modify adjectives. Note that in most cases, adverbs come before adjectives, as in all the sentences that we just listed as examples. Adverbs modifying adverbs. He speaks really intelligently. He drove the truck quite easily. We trekked too slowly. He did the work very neatly, and Esther sings really well. We also have adverbs modifying prepositional phrases with examples as follows. The boss was quite out of his mind as he spoke. He proceeded right away to Lagos. The paper was pasted strongly on the wall. Quite modifies out of his mind as he spoke in the first example, and he proceeded right away to Lagos. We could say he proceeded to Lagos, but right away is modifying to Lagos, which is the prepositional phrase there. We also have the paper was pasted strongly on the wall. On the wall is prepositional phrase and strongly modifies the phrase. We also have forms of adverb. The most important and major forms of adverbs are three, and we have them as adjuncts, disjuncts, and conjuncts. What are adjuncts? Adjuncts are adverbs which answer the questions how, where, when, why, under what condition, to what degree, how often, for how long, etc. In other words, they are adverbs of time, place or direction, reason or cause, result, purpose, duration, frequency, comparison, condition, and concession. Some adjuncts appear as singular words or as single words, while others appear as adverbial phrases and clauses. Now let us take a look at adjunct of time. Adverb or adjunct of time answer the question when in relation to the verb of the main clause. Example are as follows. I went to his house yesterday. He was to see his wife now. He has been waiting here since. Yesterday, now, and since in the listed examples are all adjuncts of time. They tell when. They tell when the action in the sentences are being performed. Further examples include: he was admitted into the college last year. The interview is tomorrow. He will arrive Lagos at 4 p.m. Another example of the adjuncts, that is the adjunct of time, is also as follows. Tonight is the time we have been waiting for. Day before yesterday was Easter Sunday. Let us take note that adverbs of time do not necessarily come at the end of the sentence. They can be anywhere in the sentence. They can be in the initial part of the sentence, in the middle, or at the end of the sentence. Adjunct of place or direction. It answers the question where. Examples are: the food is on the table. The food is on the table. The girl in front is my cousin. I met her in Lagos. I met her in Lagos. The police killed 2 students on the campus. Police killed 2 students on the campus. Note that more often than not, adjuncts of place or direction appear as prepositional phrases, as in the examples that we just listed now. Adjuncts of reason or cause. Adjuncts of reason or cause answer the question why, and it is introduced by since. That is, since, as, or because. Examples are as follows. She married early because she is well behaved. She married early because she is well behaved. Because she is well behaved is the clause that shows the adjunct in that sentence. The minister was sacked because of bribery. She was sacked since she was sacked since she refused to apologize. She was sacked since she refused to apologize. We also have adjunct of degree or manner. It answers the question how. Examples are: he moves proudly. She played badly yesterday. The man deeply regretted his action. Badly, proudly, deeply. These are adjuncts of degree. They show how. They tell how. They tell the manner and how far the extent of someone's character or behavior or the extent of a thing. We also have adjunct of result. Adjunct of results answer the question, what is the outcome? Adjunct of result answer the question, what is the outcome? It shows the effect or result of the action that was performed in the main clause. The adjunct itself forms the subordinate clause of the sentence. It is usually introduced by such words as that, so that, so much, so that, so much, so that, so much, so that, etc. Note that adjunct of result is usually regarded as the consequence of action. Note that the adjunct of result is usually regarded as the consequence of action. Examples are: he danced so much that she became too tired. He danced so much that she became too tired. She stole the money so that she would pay her fees. They ate voraciously, so much so that they could not walk. They ate voraciously so much so that they could not walk. We have adjunct of purpose. This answered the question, for what purpose? It is introduced by words such as so that, in order that, so as to, in order to, etc. Examples are: I slapped her so as to stop receiving her insults. He locked the door in order to shut off air. Uzo started preparing in time so that it will pass. And the list can go on and on. We also have adjunct of duration. It answers the question, for how long? For how long? Examples include the following: I spent several minutes there waiting to be called. I spent several minutes there waiting to be called. Several minutes there is the adjunct in the sentence. He spent 10 years in jail. 10 years is also the adjunct of duration in this sentence. He has been sick for a considerable time. For a considerable time is the adjunct in this sentence. We also have adjunct of frequency. It answers the question, how often or how frequent. The words that introduce this adjunct are always, often, every day, twice, regularly, usually, generally, frequently, sometimes, occasionally, rarely, seldom, ever, never, etc., etc. Examples of this kind of adjuncts, that is the adjunct of frequency, are: children usually cry without cause. Children usually cry without cause. Usually, in the above sentence, is the adjunct of frequency in the sentence. He always arrives on time. Always is another adjunct of frequency. I have never insulted him. Never is also the adjunct of frequency in that sentence. Let us move to the next kind of adjunct, which is the adjunct of comparison. Adjunct of comparison. It simply makes comparison between two or more things using the words as, like, than. When we are making comparison between two or more items or things, we make use of words such as, like, and than. As, like, than. They are the words that are used when referring to adjuncts of comparison. Examples of adjuncts of comparison: the lady is as tall as an iroko tree. Uche is wiser than his brother. He behaves as well as his father. He behaves well as his father. These are all adjuncts of comparison. Adjuncts of condition. It gives condition for the action performed in the main clause and is introduced by words such as if, provided, and unless. Examples: I would relay your message if I see him. I will relay your message if I see him. I will marry her provided she remains faithful. He will be jailed unless the president says otherwise. Adjunct of concession. It simply shows or expresses concession and is introduced by words such as although, even, whereas, even if, while, etc., etc. Examples include: I married her although it was against my wish. He laughed, whereas I told him not to. You will go to church even if it rains. Although, whereas, and even are used in these sentences, respectively, as adjuncts of concession. They are used to express concession. The next item we are going to be discussing is disjuncts. Disjuncts. What are disjuncts? Disjuncts, as the name implies, and unlike adjuncts, are not fully integrated into the sentence, but are peripherals to it. They are not fully integrated into the sentence, but are peripheral to it. Although they are part of the sentence, they are passive and do not actually contribute much to the meaning of the sentence. All they do is just to express a viewpoint. The following adverbs are disjuncts: frankly, in all frankness, honestly, in all honesty, to my surprise, to my regret, fortunately, luckily, etc., etc. Example of such use of one of these disjuncts in the sentence is: frankly, I will not buy what I do not need. And like the examples may say: unfortunately, the patient died in the night. To my surprise, she slapped her husband. We can actually omit this disjuncts and still the meaning of the sentences will still remain intact. Say for instance, I will not buy what I do not need. I've actually removed frankly from that sentence, and still the meaning of the sentence is intact. The patient died in the night. I also omitted the initial part of the sentence, which says unfortunately. Unfortunately is just there. It's just a peripheral to the sentence. It's something that can be omitted and still the sentence will make total sense. The next item is conjuncts. Essentially, they join two sentences or clauses containing related information and generally refer to what has been said already. The following adverbs are conjuncts: nevertheless, on the other hand, on the contrary, in contrast, in conclusion, finally, however, yet, nevertheless, invariably, alternatively, consequently, otherwise, similarly, by comparison, concomitantly, etc., etc. Examples of the use of these conjuncts in a sentence are as follows: I have no money to give you, nevertheless, I will not leave you empty-handed. The student refused to go to school. On the other hand, his father said nothing. He should study hard, otherwise he will fail. She fought the teacher, consequently she was expelled. She fought the teacher, consequently she was expelled. Now let us take a look at order of adverbs. Adverbs of frequency come either at the beginning of a sentence or between an auxiliary verb and its main verb. Examples are: occasionally, he insults his father. Occasionally, he insults his father. That is, the adverb came at the initial stage of the sentence. Another one says, I have never slept in the cold. This came in between the auxiliary verb and the main verb. Never is the adverb in that sentence, and it came in between the auxiliary verb and the main verb. Adverbs of manner come after the sentence object, but where there is no object, they follow the verb directly. Example are: he beat the girl ruthlessly. That is, it came after the object. He beat the girl ruthlessly. The adverb in that sentence, ruthlessly, comes before or after the object. Ada talks foolishly. Here, there is no object, and then the adverb is introduced. Adverb of manner, place, and time, where they occur together in a sentence, follow each other in that order. That is, manner, place, time. Adverb of manner, place, and time, where they occur together in a sentence, follow each other in that order. That is, manner, place, time. When they follow each other in a sentence, they follow this order. Example: she remained quietly indoors yesterday. Quietly is the manner. Indoors, place. Yesterday, time. Quietly, manner. Indoors, place. Time. Yesterday. A few questions are going to pop up on the screen as we have come to the end of this session. I advise that you attempt these questions and try as much as possible to get them correctly. However, if you have any difficulty in answering these questions, please do not hesitate to go back to the video once again and review it in order to update yourself. Thank you and good luck.